make lists and tick things off of them.
No, he doesn't have to. His brain remembers everything.
His brain holds the list in there and he remembers everything to do.
Every single thing.
I guess, I mean, now that I say that, like, Matt's not making lists.
No, they're just remembering it.
How?
I don't know. I want to be the one to be like, well, it's because they don't carry the invisible load of motherhood that it plugs all of our brains up. So we have to make lists. But really, Joshua does stuff for us as a father. As much as I do as a mother. Now, I say this. Does he know the name of their dentist? No.
Okay, sure.
No.
I hear you on that.
I don't think Joshua knows the name of the girl's pediatric dentist. Dr. Dunlap. Shout out.
Dr. Dunlap, sponsor us, please.
I know it. Yes, exactly. Charlotte Pediatric Dentistry. I'm talking about you right now. Does he know? I'm trying to think of, but like when it would come to teachers and things, he would always go to the teachers' meetings. He would always like the teacher night. He was there.
Yeah.
If it was parent teacher conferences, he was there. Like, so I think he, knew all the teachers along the way. Now that our kids you never see their teachers.
Yes.
So
yes. Would you call him devoted dad?
I would call him devoted dad.
Who else is devoted dad?
Matt Timmerman.
No. Who just won $10 million as devoted dad?
Oh my gosh. Woo! Mr. Beast Games.
And we can share this now because this has been out for weeks.
Or actually it's Beast Games, not Mr. Beast.
Now, I gotta say, from the jump, do you know who was rooting for devoted dad?
We all were. The Miller household?
And I was rooting for him too, but I'm saying locked in, zeroed in on devoted dad from the jump. Lachlan.
He knew.
Lachlan from the jump was like, I really like
him.
devoted dad.
I like him too. Well, you know why I liked him? Whoa, wee, wow.
You like the look?
That is a good looking man.
Well, the jawline is snatched.
That is a good looking man. Lily and I were both like,
the mewing. Yeah, I mean, at the very last challenge that they had, where like they basically had to stare at each other and he's reading her brain. I'm like, no wonder she couldn't hold it together.
No wonder. Me too. I was like, it's in 6. I'll just tell you. Look at me like that one more time. I'll tell you what's in that bag, what's in my bag, what's in, and anything you want to know. That is a good looking silver fox. When I'm saying silver foxes, like look them up in the dictionary. Him, Anderson Cooper.
Yes.
Like they're just some beautiful men.
Yeah.
Who have that silver hair, that silvery white in the beard. Perfectly trimmed beard.
But not too manicured.
No.
Not too manicured, but just right.
No, it was just right. His wife is gorgeous.
Yeah, oh, wait, we have a thumbs down.
What is this trying to tell us?
If I go like this, will it give a thumbs down? Okay, YouTube watchers, I don't know what this is going to look like, but this will be an adventure.
It will be, as it always is here at All That to Say. Welcome to Season 5.
Welcome to Season 5. We're going to continue talking about Beast Games.
Yeah.
I loved it. Obviously, they're going to do a Season 2.
Obviously.
Because he was like, and that was the first season of Beast Games.
Right.
And some people... Like if you looked, some people didn't like it. They had problems.
I did hear the backlash.
Why? Why aren't people liking Beast Games?
Well, some people feel like, and I guess I don't know if this happened with Squid Games too, because I didn't watch it, but the idea of like exploiting people who, especially when you get to hear some of their stories, like, hey, I've been homeless. This money would really go far for me. The reason why I need it is because my kids, this and that and the other.
Yeah.
And so I guess it feels like you're exploiting people at their worst in a game in which you're like, yes, tell us your sad story. Bye, you're gone. You've been voted out or booted off or whatever. And so some people feel that way, but I'm kind of like, isn't that what every reality competition show is? Everybody comes in with a story.
Everyone has a story, as we know from Kathy Lee Gifford. Thank you.
Obviously, via Danny Pellegrino. Every time he plays it,
it's so good.
It makes me giggle.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, everybody has a story on a reality. Obviously, we're going to have one on Amazing Race.
Absolutely.
There's no breaking news there. It's just, again, manifestation.
Yes.
But everybody does have a story. And yeah, some people have harder lives than others. Yeah. Some people come into shows intentionally kind of as Nepo babies. And
yes.
And they're like, oh, that's so-and-so's daughter, well, they obviously haven't really needed anything, but they're a willing participant in the show.
Well, that's the thing.
It makes people watch.
It boils down to these folks are willing participants. I mean,
right.
No one is coercing or forcing you into this game show. You see it as an opportunity to, get a little cash.
It's not like they drove down Skid Row, like tent city in LA, and said, hey, anybody want to win $5 million?
No.
Jump in the car and we'll take you.
Yeah, you at least had to have internet access.
Come on.
To join this program.
I just think that some people, that's just going a little too deep.
Too deep.
When I say it's not that deep,
yeah.
I guess not.
It's not that deep.
It's not that deep.
And listen, I really did like T.
Yeah, same.
And I would have been thrilled if she had won too.
Sure.
I really liked her. She is someone who turned down $1 million twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
What a great competitor. What a great teammate.
To be a good teammate and keep people going in the game. I am happy she walked away with some money. And here's the thing. A lot of these people are going to have robust social media followings now. And so they can continue to actually capitalize and make money in that way.
The ends will always justify the means. In a reality TV show setting, because now of social media and what you can parlay after the fact. Yep. Look at Gabby.
Yes.
So Gabby, who is on Traders now, who is so hysterical. If y'all are not following Gabby Windy on TikTok,
please do.
Or on Instagram, major mistake, but she uploads a lot more on TikTok. She just has, she's giving Jennifer Coolidge, Jennifer Tilly, like she kind of talks like that too. That's not a put on voice. Like that's just how she talks.
That's her voice. And she's almost, you would think listening to her that she's kind of like an airhead a little bit, but she actually is very, very smart, funny. Yes. She is smart, funny.
She is. She's not an airhead. It's just in the way that she talks that makes her sound that way.
I love it.
She was on Bachelor. So I was telling you about this upstairs.
Yeah.
So Gabby started on the Bachelor franchise. She was the exact same girl there too, but obviously there's so many people that it's hard to get a ton of airtime.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not getting the one-on-ones and things like that. But she was always there. And then she stayed kind of in the Bachelor sphere, after the fact.
Okay.
And then she got cast on Traders. But in between The Bachelor and Traders, she not decided, but she was like, I think I'm into ladies.
Yeah. Well, she was like, I'm bisexual.
Yeah. When they were asking her, they're like, oh, well, you were on The Bachelor. How did it end up? She's like, well, I'm with a woman now. And they were like, oh, okay. So it didn't work out with Bob Guinea or whatever season she was on. I can't remember. But yeah, so she's on Traders and she's fantastic. But she's been able to make a career. The point of bringing this up is that was years ago that she was on The Bachelor. Yeah. She was able to stay relevant enough to get cast on a different reality show altogether.
Yep.
By different networks.
Yes.
Because remember, Bachelor is ABC, Traders is NBC.
That's right.
So she's now crossed networks and is on this. And so she will continue now to ride this train.
She will ride. Now she's like in it. Now she is one of these game show people, just like Boston Rob, right? Like he has bounced around to lots of different game shows. I didn't know much about Boston Rob before Traders.
Icon.
I love him.
He's an icon and a legend.
He is an icon in the gaming space. I kind of want to go back and watch some things that he was in. He is married to another gamer that was on Survivor with him. Like he's a devoted dad. Everyone's a devoted dad. He's got 3 or 4 girls. Yeah. He's just fun. I am very disappointed that he got kicked out.
Well, he did that to himself. I'm like, Boston Rob, you know better than to pick off the people immediately after you've gone head to head with them. But really, I think it was the person who said, and how would he know so confidently that Bob the drag queen was a traitor? How would he know? And they were like, unless you were. I mean, was it Sam Ashgari who was like, who knew he was the voice of reason?
Y'all, Britney Spears' ex-husband, Sam Ashgari, is on the Traders.
Yeah.
It is so fascinating to me to watch this. Who would have thought he would have made it pretty much to the end of this?
Not me. Now, also a very good-looking man.
Yes, another good-looking guy.
With a very well-kept beard.
Yes, a good beard. And he was wearing that headband a lot.
He was wearing that pushback headband. I'm a little disappointed, and I understand it's because he signed such an ironclad NDA. I'm like, we're not going to get any Britney talk.
He's not
even a little. The only thing that they said Britney's name like one time, and it was like, oh, you were married to Britney Spears.
Yeah.
That was it. They got the one line
one
in.
thing.
She was like, you can say my name one time.
He won't say anything else.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
I was really hoping we'd get a hot mic moment or something. But he has been very well trained.
One day the truth's going to come out about all that.
I really hope so. I would love to know it.
I would love to know it.
Okay, so anyway, yes, Devoted Dad, we freaked out on Beast Games when he said 6, and then they built up the suspense and built it up, and I was like, there's only a minute left in this show.
Right. Oh, I could tell from the time. I'm like, no, he got it.
No, he got it.
He got it.
I wish we had set up a camera recording our family's reaction to this, because we lost jumped off of the couch, hugged each other.
Yeah.
I think Lily picked me up and spun me around like we were so into that guy, and we wanted him to win so bad, because another like piece, if y'all aren't watching, his younger son has a disorder that very much affects him physically, mentally.
It's something with creatine.
Yeah, it's something with creatine. It doesn't develop, or he doesn't have enough. So I think he said he's like 7, but more operates on like a 1-year-old level.
He's like a 1-year-old.
And that it's very rare. The disease is very rare, which means it's not going to get any government funding to try to find a cure or even treatments. He's like, there's not even treatments for this, let alone a cure.
Yeah.
So his whole thing was like, if I won the money, I could really maybe start to make some headway in this space with my son's disorder. And so, of course, I was crying. I was crying so hard.
And then when his wife's face, when they brought her out, and I really thought through this, you guys. I really thought about, okay, they definitely had each of their families in a room. And they said, we're not telling you anything, but just like be in this room.
Yep.
Right? And then once he won and they got some footage of that, then they went and got that family. Probably still didn't tell them why.
Right.
But they said, come on down the hallway. And then they walk onto the set and she sees him there with the $10 million.
Literally like rolling around in the money.
And you could see on her face, it was like, that was the moment she realized he had won.
Covered in chills.
Yeah.
Covered in chills.
And that moment with her and the kids and the hugging, I couldn't believe it. I was thrilled. We love Devoted Dad. We love you. We would love to interview you
so much. Oh, that would be amazing. Oh, that'd be amazing. Okay, I'll get on it. It's so amazing to win $10 million, because yes, taxes are going to take 4 right off the bat, right?
Yeah.
Doge.
Please.
Where you been?
Where you been, Doge?
Where you been, Doge? Do this for us. I love that I keep seeing, and we even reposted like, maybe filing an ascension this year in case they abolish the IRS.
Well, literally one of my things to tell you today was like, we got to file taxes.
I know. Damn.
Like I got a couple of
we got some 1099s.
I got some 1099s.
Yeah, well, I was hoping sometimes people forget to send them to me on the Miranda and Charlotte side.
Ew, what's this? Gross. And I opened it and was like, oh shoot.
How much money are we talking?
I mean, 1,000 and some.
Oh, okay.
Not too bad, but I'm like, we have to like.
I think we have enough cost to offset that.
100%.
Enough deductions, right?
There's enough
especially
cost.
between like the cruise and buying all the stuff,
equipment, all of that. Yeah.
So we won't owe.
I don't think
we might get some money back.
I don't think we're gonna owe. I would love if we got some money back.
Yeah, like what would that look like? Like $200?
What if we did?
Like great. Let's take it on the Absolutely Not cruise with us. That will be our gambling money.
That'll be our money.
That'll be our casino money.
Unless you guys want to, slide into our Venmo and send us $5.
Oh yeah, we'll do another campaign like that right before we go down to Miami, Mr. 305. We will do a little, Venmo push if people want to buy us a cocktail, because we did not get the drink package on the cruise.
No,
that just that's a cost that just doesn't seem worth it for us.
You and I are.
We don't drink enough.
I would say in the last 8 months, I don't know, 6 to 8 months, like I have really hit the brakes on drinking. Yeah. And mainly because with the menopause and with the hormones, the mixture of that is not good.
It's not good.
It is not good. And
I think that could be leading to some of the angry women in our age range as well. Someone did comment and they said, do you think it's also that our age range is extra angry because we're all going through perimenopause and menopause? And I said, That is a very valid point as well.
Absolutely.
I still stand by my other ones, but I will add that to it. And
Yes.
I completely agree.
Well, it's adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
If the fire beneath us is already simmering because we're running out of estrogen and you're a little progesterone heavy and the testosterone. So, and then you add in politics or some inflammatory thing like
or your mom moving in or whatever.
Yeah, like
your
you're
kid
gonna
coming
pop
back
up.
from college and saying, I don't have anywhere to go.
Ooh.
Okay, so everyone's just back. Like the years that I thought I was going to be empty nesting and like finally focusing on myself, they're all back. Everyone's
But let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
Do you think I don't know. I mean, at this point in my life, I'm like, if Tristan was like, I'm coming back home, Mom, I'd be like, okay.
No, you wouldn't. You'd be like, son, we have made you be excellent for a reason.
I know.
And you need to rise to the occasion. And sometimes you got to figure it out.
I know.
You got to figure it out.
But y'all, like these apartment prices.
Oh, don't get me started.
Like these prices for a kid to get a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and I'm talking right here up the road from us because we've looked. There's been several apartments that have been built around here. And curiosity, we love to look and see.
Sure.
I am talking $1,800 a month.
Well, that leads. I cannot believe that you're saying this because when was the last time we talked about apartment prices? Never.
We've never.
Because we've
Y'all
never
are
had to do that.
witnessing it right now.
We've never had to do that. Well, Bella didn't get. She wants to live on campus next year in a dorm.
Yeah.
So she applied to do it. She did not get it. Yeah.
Wait, what? I didn't even know that was like possible.
Yeah. Sophomores aren't guaranteed spots on campus because there's so many freshmen coming in that it's not a guarantee. And so she didn't get it.
I'm shocked.
She's so bummed.
So where is she going?
Well, a girl in her class was like, hey, my parents flip homes. They do this kind of everywhere. They're thinking about getting a house here in Raleigh, flipping it, and then renting it out to some people. And I'm just putting the feelers out.
Love that.
Love it. 4-bedroom house.
Yes. How much?
$1,300 a kid.
Ooh.
Now $1,300 times 4 is
a lot.
52?
Yeah.
5,200?
5,000 something.
And that feels like a lot a month.
That's way over what a mortgage would be.
For a 4-bedroom house.
For a 4-bedroom
right?
home. Yeah.
So I don't know. But she said all in, all utilities, everything included. Now,
Okay.
I realized that I went to college 20 years ago.
We're still stuck
I realized
in
that.
2002 prices.
22 years ago, I realized that. However,
I gotta say too, Matt is also stuck. He will grumble about prices of things.
Yes.
And I'm like, you are stuck in 1999, babe.
I am, and I fully admit that.
Okay.
I do admit that. However, I was shooketh because Josh and I lived in a 4-bedroom apartment.
Okay.
Our last year of college. That's
much
when I
was
lived
that?
with all the boys. Each room was $410.
Okay.
So Josh and I brought in $205 each.
Oh, that's nice. Whew.
Real nice.
Real nice.
Real nice. And so to have it be 3 times that amount in 22 years, is that the going rate? It has inflation 300%ed.
I think it has, but our paychecks have not 300%.
And that's I think where I'm just like, huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
And well, and that's, I
Anyway.
mean, if y'all have seen those charts where
Yes.
they show the line of here's inflation of the cost of living going up, your groceries, your food, your gas, your rent, and then just barely the pay is increasing.
Like that this is inflation of everything, and this is what we're getting
This
paid.
is what you're getting paid, and this is why people are working 2-3 jobs. We just
my
had
God,
this
my God.
conversation with Tristan 2 days ago, talking to him about taking advantage of the opportunities in your life. And if right now your job in life is to just go to school, that's your whole job. Do it excellently.
Do it excellently.
And he does, but we believe that Tristan does it excellently so that he doesn't get fussed at.
Right.
And that he's able to like play Fortnite on the weekend. And so we are.
What's the motivator? Because that won't always be the motivator.
That's it. And we need him to eventually turn that corner. Now, I know he's a middle school boy, so, this may take a little while.
Yeah.
But we eventually want him to have that moment of like, oh no, like my future's knocking on the door and I need to strive for these things because I want that for myself.
Absolutely.
I believe that Tinsley's already kind of in that mindset and she understands, all right, the classes I choose next year for high school, those honors classes, that's starting to add to my record and like where I'm going to end up at the end of my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
She's got that in her head, but Tristan is just kind of like, I don't want to be yelled at.
Yep. Well, I've watched him get yelled at.
Yeah.
And I can see why he does not want I can see why, Tristan, because
in this house we get A's.
We want to swoop in and we want to tend to him when he's getting fussed at.
Yeah, Tristan can. And listen, I can fuss at him too when he deserves it, but he is my golden baby boy.
I know.
I love him.
I know. That's why of all the kids, notice who she said. But if Tristan moved back in, I picked up on it too.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because right now, I know Tinsley would never.
No,
she would never. She would never want to come back here. Not because she doesn't love it here, but
she's got a great life.
She just...
I want to come back here.
You know what it is?
What?
She just is ready to like decorate an apartment.
Yeah, I can see that.
She wants to decorate. She wants to paint the walls. She's already picking out furniture from Temu. Like she is ready to do those kind of more adult things.
Yeah.
Tristan,
well,
I think,
daughter.
Yeah. If I was like, yeah, just come here, live in the basement. Like he would be like, yeah, Mom, I'm coming home.
Who slept in this bed?
Matt. When he was having his nerve pain.
Oh, because he was moving around so much.
Well, the bed he's in upstairs was just not giving him, like it was too hard. So this one is very, very soft.
It has that memory foam
It's
topper.
got the foam. And so for maybe like 3 nights, he slept in this bed.
Because I realized it's not made up. And I was like,
made.
is this where Valentine's rigorous activity?
There was no rigorous activity.
On Valentine's. And that's the breaking news, you guys. And this is the update. I literally had it on our receipts. And I wrote, Kristen, this is your question. Did rigorous activity happen on Valentine's Day?
Okay.
And now you've heard it. No.
Okay, it didn't that day because by the time we got to the end of that day,
Yeah.
we were exhausted.
Yeah.
I recorded that day. You expect me to put out too?
Now I know. That's why I did it before the recording.
Oh my gosh. But the next day and night was great and rigorous.
Great.
Yeah.
And how'd your nose do?
I did okay.
Okay.
I did okay. As long
How did
as
his nerve do?
I stopped asking.
Okay. I asked him for you today when I got it.
You did ask.
I did.
You asked about his nerve. He said he's okay.
He needs someone to ask how he's doing.
Yeah, it got to a point where I was just like, beyond Valentine's Day, I'm not asking you anymore about this nerve. And you need to suck it up and make it happen for me.
Okay. And he did.
And he did.
Great.
And we started watching Love is Blind.
Oh,
We're caught
I didn't know where we
not
started.
porn.
And I was like, watching what?
Watching the Pure.
Yeah, watching the Pure. Don't do that.
No, Love is Blind.
I started last night.
White Lotus is back, and we're keeping up with Southern Charm together. So we really have been very busy.
Obviously, very busy with your shows. We started a new thing in our family where every night, because Joshua really wanted to rewatch Seinfeld.
Oh,
I never watched Seinfeld growing up.
My parents have been watching it. That's funny.
So it's on Netflix now,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I think it's on Netflix. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, so it's on Netflix right now. So he wanted to rewatch Seinfeld and introduce us to it. I wanted to rewatch Arrested Development and introduce them to it, right? And
if y'all didn't know this, that is my favorite show of all time, Arrested Development. If you want to understand me, folks, listen to me. If you want to understand my brain and my humor, go watch Arrested Development. And then
maybe that's why we clicked.
Yeah. That's what, not everybody likes it.
No, not everybody likes it. And I was worried. I was like, they need to love it the way I love it.
I know.
I know. It's tendy.
It's very tendy to me.
Tendy.
Matt has watched it. He loves it like I do.
Good.
And eventually I will show my big kids and they better love it.
Okay, phew. Okay, so I feel good. I feel good that he loved it. My family is loving it. We are laughing so hard, obviously. And so I am looking over like, okay, it's fine. Okay.
Isn't that so stressful?
So stressful to introduce somebody to something you love so much. And it's kind of like when you send a reel to someone and they watch it and they don't laugh and you're like, oh, well, that was peak humor to me.
But that was so fun. It could be, it's like a new song that you love. It's your favorite song. If they don't love it, it's really heartbreaking. A show, a movie, and you're side-eyeing them the whole time, just like, are you loving it as much as I?
Are you loving it? And then Lily's show, which we have watched, I think, 3 seasons of, but we didn't go any further. Her show that she wanted us to watch was Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, yeah. Brooklyn Nine-Nine's great.
So funny.
I've only watched maybe a half of the first season.
Okay.
But it is great.
It is great. It is so funny.
Humor is on point.
She loves Andy Samberg. That is her type.
Okay.
Like her type of guy,
yeah,
I should say.
Yeah.
Her type of guy is like Andy Samberg or Andrew Garfield.
Yes.
Or who else is kind of that ilk? Like dark, curly haired, kind of goofy, funny, but can also play serious if they need to. Anyway, that's Lily's type of guy.
Okay.
And so she loves watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine for that reason. And then I have, devoted dad on Beast. So But
you are.
But no, it's been really fun to watch. So we do Seinfeld, Arrested Development, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We're trying to do one episode each night.
What a great night you're having.
I mean, 22 minutes each because these are short, very short sitcom shows.
Yeah.
And all of the ones, let me see. I think Brooklyn Nine-Nine's the only one that has ads.
Okay.
So Seinfeld and Arrested Development, we don't even have to watch ads.
How are you feeling about Seinfeld?
I like Seinfeld. I can't wait for it to continue to go.
Yeah.
We are literally only 2 episodes in, you guys. Like we just started this week.
Yeah. You've got a ways to go.
I can't wait for it to keep going. You can tell like it's weird to watch shows from the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, this was 89 was their first year of Seinfeld.
Whoa.
89.
89.
I think that's what Joshua said.
What?
Let me double check that because for some reason, maybe I'm thinking it's 90. What was the first year of Seinfeld? Let's see what it says. 89.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So to watch a show from 89, 90s, they take so much more time. It is slower, right? So they're talking like normal people talk where there are pauses.
Yeah.
And things are marinating and you leave some room for the imagination or whatever.
Totally.
Whereas now, like, because no one has attention spans anymore, it's like boom, boom, boom. It's just punching you in the face. There's no breath. There's no anything. And it has to constantly be going. And you can even tell the difference between a Seinfeld to the Brooklyn Nine-Nine because Brooklyn Nine-Nine is at least a newer-ish show.
Yeah.
The first year of it was in the teens.
Yeah.
Okay. I think. Does that sound about right? Hold on.
I don't know when Brooklyn Nine-Nine came out.
What year did Brooklyn Nine-Nine come out? 2013.
Okay.
So you can tell that there's a huge difference even then in the pacing of it.
Yes.
Because of our attention spans. And then Arrested Development is somewhere in the middle
in the middle.
And it's neat to watch, but you have to almost remind yourself, I am watching a show from 1989. It is not that it is slow.
Yeah.
It is that we have been sped up.
That's it.
And so I like it. And I like that even Lily's watching it so intently because I think it's good for her brain to watch a slower paced show.
It truly is. Like it's funny you say this because White Lotus is on the opposite end of the spectrum of character development.
Okay.
So if we're saying
tell me about it. I don't know anything about White Lotus except for that you look like they're
love White Lotus.
Fahey.
So each season, this is the 3rd season, it's a different cast every time. So Megan Fahey was on season 2. But
wait.
Yeah.
It's
a different cast.
But Jennifer Coolidge was a big deal. Does she stay?
So she was on the first 2 seasons. She is not in the 3rd.
Okay, so they switch, and I hear that they do it in different locations.
They do it in different. It's
one's Italy.
Yeah. So imagine like a Hilton, right? Would be in different places. This is the White Lotus Hotel, and one was in Italy, one was in Hawaii, and now we are in Thailand.
Oh, so you're having guests come, and it's the story of
these guests.
So that's why it's a different cast.
That's right.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting? So,
did you like the first episode?
Oh yeah. I mean, we love it, but the way they have to develop these characters so fast.
Yeah.
Because you are getting a new cast, but also because of our attention span. We want to be fascinated and entertained straight away, right?
Yeah.
Like as consumers of media, that's what we all expect now. And so in one episode, we are seeing the most like insane behavior from these characters. And you're already pinpointing like, okay, these two hate each other.
Okay.
This guy's addicted to drugs. These two brothers might be having an incestuous love affair.
Oh boy.
These parents, like you are already putting the pieces together within 30 minutes of watching it. I mean, it's very different from shows from long ago because they gave you a full season to get to know somebody.
Correct.
Yeah. And then at the end of these seasons, like a Seinfeld, there was like a big finale episode and a lot of aha and a lot of revelation and then kind of left you waiting for that next season to come.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like now shows, they have a big moment in every episode.
So true. They have to. I mean, even we so we'll be talking.
Yeah.
And then you press record.
Yeah.
And then the second someone listens back to us, we are right in the middle of something.
Yeah.
And that's just to get y'all's attention.
That's right.
Because if we were to come on here each time and be like, it's Monday.
Hello.
February, da-da-da. Like, I don't know. I just wonder if people would be like, okay.
Yeah. No, that's so boring.
So just get right into it.
I want to be.
You're jumping in. You're again. We've always said that our podcast is like eavesdropping on our voice notes.
That's right.
Our unhinged voice notes to each other.
Yes.
And you are privy to them. So it's like we want you to jump in right in the middle of us talking about something that. Oh my gosh, is the red light on?
Yeah, the red light's on. Was I supposed to edit that out? Oh my God.
Now sometimes I will say, "Oop, we need to back it up."
Yeah.
Back it up, Terry.
Yeah, there have been a few times where we finish and you're like, you're going to cut that whole first 10 minutes, right?
The stuff that she has in the first 5 minutes every time we sit down, I'm always like, that could never make it to air.
Could never see the light
Make it to air. I still don't know why I think that we're anchors.
We're on air.
I don't know why I think we're news anchors. I can't stop.
Okay, when we get an official studio, I'm going to get us an on-air light.
And
I think that would be very cute.
That would be so cute. I know that they make some neon signs with those.
Yes.
Yeah.
We would be adorable.
They are kind of, but they weren't. They were like digital.
Digital
but then,
signs.
now they're like cutesy little neon ones. Well, are you ready to get into the 2 and 2?
Oh my gosh, is it already time? I guess
I don't know. How long have we been? Yeah, 31 minutes, girl.
I mean, and I do feel and I fear
yes.
that our
We'll do it in 2 and 2.
are going to be very, very, very in-depth.
Okay, let's go. Ready.
Where do you want to start? I already know some of the things that we have said. Okay, I got to say this.
Okay.
I don't even know if this counts as one of my 2 and 2, but I got to say it.
Okay, say it right now. Yeah, you can do it before Chuck Woolery.
I need to know if you made this connection and I was just late to the game.
Okay. Tell me.
In August,
Yes.
we did an episode where I talked to you, Guy, about the Olympics and how people were clapping on the 1 and 2.
Yes.
And not the 3 and 4.
Yes.
Do you remember the song that I sang as the example of people clapping incorrectly?
No. Do you want me to think?
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. Here's my number. Call me maybe. What song did I sing to Jeff on the cruise ship?
Call Me Maybe. Yes, you did. But you were prompted. I mean, that's the song that they played for you.
That's what I'm saying.
So the chances are even crazier that it's the same song.
Exactly.
It's not like you got up for karaoke and was like,
No.
I love Call Me Maybe. It was literally, they played it and the first person to run up and answer
They
it.
played the song. We did that in August. That was in November. And we had 2 Call Me Maybe reels. We have 2 reels on our page.
On our page.
That have to do with Carly Rae Jepsen.
Well, I mean, I guess that just speaks to Carly Rae.
The magic of Carly Rae.
Magic, and that's the first time I know that anyone has ever said that. Live on air. The magic of Carly Rae Jepsen.
I've said
it once, I've said it 100 times. The magic of Carly Rae
Jepsen. You guys, there was some magic happening, and I am disappointed that not one podcast
I'm shocked.
put that together and was like, wait a minute, isn't that the song you sang for people clapping on the 1 and 3?
I'm very shocked. I'm very shocked by this because
These reels are living on our Instagram.
because like Dana Archivist, I think, is good at memory and pulling things up.
Yes.
But I think if we were to say to her, which song did Kristen say for the 1 and the 1 and 3s versus 2 and 4s? I'm not sure if she's going to answer that and then connect it. But maybe she would. I don't know. She did text me yesterday after listening. You do need to buy annual passes to Disney World.
Okay. and that is sage advice.
We did talk about that.
Yes.
She did say that to me. But
we had multiple friends text us and be like, you guys, the startup costs for a chalet and a ski resort, what is wrong with you?
Listen, I know it's not low. But if you had the land, it certainly helps.
If you already own the land,
Certainly
that
helps.
means you own the mountain and the snow.
Yes, obviously the mountain and the snow. Now, I will say, little known fact is that, sorry, I didn't realize this is my first time podcasting. that oftentimes, because Joshua did work out at Ski Mountain, so he knows a thing or two about Ski Mountain.
Yes, of course.
Is that, they do have to make a lot of snow.
They do.
They have to make a lot of snow because, we have snowy times up there, but it's not consistent like it is out west.
Out west, it's just dumping snow.
So if you are going to do a ski resort, I do suggest one out west, not in the North Carolina mountains.
Yeah.
Although you can charge an outrageous amount and people do it because there's not a ton of options.
Yeah.
So I think that that's also what drove up the price. But just so y'all know, you do have to have snow making machines, and a ton of the snow that you do ski on at these North Carolina mountains is fake. Well, it's not fake. It's real snow, but it is man-made versus God-made.
Yeah. Yeah. God-made snow.
What would people say that versus nature's made?
Nature's made?
Nature's made
like
snow.
A raisin?
Yeah, like a nature-made vitamin, but vitamin snow.
Sun-made. I'm thinking of sun-made raisins.
Sun-made raisins. I was thinking Nature Valley granola, and so is a lot. It was a lot coming together.
Raisins, granola, vitamins. Got
it. Title. Raisins. People are going to be like,
no, the title options are already to the max. Yeah. The limit does not exist.
Endless.
Okay. So I just had to mention that about the magic of Carly Rae Jepsen.
I love that was in your notes.
It was in my notes. Very important. It said, call me maybe claps August-November. What is happening?
I can't believe no one put this together.
I know it. I know.
Can't believe it. Some of y'all are really, really in tune. You're paying attention. Your monocles are on.
Do you want to show people what Joshua got you? This is important.
Oh, this is very important. Important. Ding, 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 ding. So you guys know that Kristen really encouraged 2025 to be the year of new technology for me.
That's right.
That my life is exponentially made harder by myself because of my old technology. Yeah. But I'm just a girly who don't want to spend any money.
That's right.
Spend any money. So the other day on Valentine's Day, Josh and I had our midday date. And rigorous activities. And after the rigorous activities, that's when I had lunch. That's when I served lunch, obviously. You're not doing rigorous activities on a full stomach.
No. Slashing.
Pro tip, there's a SEX account. I don't know what we can say or not say. I know. And they didn't coin this phrase, but they took it from another SEX therapist guy, but it's called the first rule.
Oh.
First rule. And it's when you're going on a date. Let's say you're planning date night and everything. If you can try to F first and then go enjoy your big meal, get stuffed. If it makes you tired, who cares? Because you've already had that time together.
Oh.
Now, I do think that this is harder for parents with small children and things because you have the babysitter coming over and you're running around trying to get ready and trying to set everything up.
That's
but
right.
Maybe the babysitter can take the kids out on a walk or something. I don't know. You're going to have to figure that out. But they do say that there is something to be said about the blank first rule.
Yes.
The double F alliteration obviously is very cute. So just something to think about instead of, and also I think that there's a pressure that comes with it.
There is a pressure
too, right? It's date night and we're going to go out and we're going to enjoy our meal and I'm going to have some wine and then I'm going to come home and I'm going to perform.
But you get home at 11:30.
Yeah.
Your stomach is full of steak and wine.
It's gargling.
It is gurgling and gargling. Yeah. You're already feeling tired because it's been a long week with the kids. This makes a lot of sense to me. It really does.
So just an idea. If you're someone who that does kind of feel like you don't want it to feel like a chore at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You don't. So maybe if you can flip it around and just, say to your hubby, hey, we're going to F first.
Yes. Well, we've even had times where it's we went out, did the date, did the whole thing, came back, we were tired. And maybe we just save it for the next morning.
Yeah, save it for the next morning. I understand why some people don't feel as confident the next morning or as good about that or anything like that. Sure. Or it's too bright. I get it. I get it.
I want it dark in the room.
Same.
I know that you do, but I as dark as we can get it is how I want it.
If the moon's coming through the blinds, then we got to tape up that tiny hole, I guess.
Not the moon.
The moonlight's coming through the blinds. Okay, so anyway, we are then enjoying our nice meal that I prepared. I made his favorite lasagna and garlic bread and Olive Garden salad and the whole thing.
Yes, baby.
Okay, so I have that all ready to go, and we're sitting there, and I'm playing music through my phone. Okay, to obviously set the mood and all the things. Still keeping it going.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah,
because it's Valentine's Day.
That's right.
I only do this once a year. Not the rigorous activities, but this much work.
But so much work.
So much work.
Setting
the lighting of the candles and the
Yeah.
music and the whole thing.
That's
Okay.
a lot. That's a lot.
But Lily was at school. It's the only
It's
time.
perfect.
It's great. Okay, so I'm playing music on my phone, and in between each song, so when it's playing the song, you can't hear the crackling. But
Yeah.
in between each song, all the crackles because the speaker's constantly broken. And so I make a remark. I say, this stupid phone. I hate this stupid phone. Sorry, the crackling's really annoying. He doesn't say a word.
Yeah.
Doesn't say a word about it. We continue to eat. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. He goes to work. I grab Lily from school. Bella surprises us by coming home on the train for Valentine's Day. Shows up to dinner where Joshua is sitting there, and she's like, "Your final Valentine's here." He starts crying. It was so sweet. Okay.
Oh.
But on the way, like literally, I'd picked Bella up from the train station. So it's Bella, Lily, and I in the car.
Okay.
It's me in the car.
Me.
Bella, Lily, and me in the car.
I knew you were.
I know. I'm really struggling today, you guys. Really struggling. I cried before we even got on air. On air! I can't! My God. I'm committed now. It's the bit, and now here it is. So live on air. Live from New York. No, live from Matthews. It's Miranda and Kristen. That's it. We actually changed the name. Now it's not. Okay. No more all that to say. Live. Okay. So on the way, pick them up. We're in the car, and something happens to my phone again. Oh, I tried a GPS.
Oh.
Okay, what's the fastest way to go from the train station to where we're having Valentine's dinner with Dad? And of course, the GPS doesn't work. It doesn't know where I am in the world. It just doesn't know, which is the whole point of GPS.
But did I ever make you tell the story on air?
No.
About you driving into Canada?
No.
Without GPS?
No, but I need to do that. Because this stupid phone, you guys,
Yeah.
this stupid freaking phone doesn't know where I am, and it's so frustrating. Now, it will kind of go, piece by piece, but it's
Yeah.
always a little bit behind. So you just got to keep scrolling on the map and be like, okay, am I making a right there? Left
Yeah.
there? It's obnoxious. So I'm saying to the girls, I'm like, you know what? I said this for the first time ever. I said this word, or I said this line. I should have asked your father for a phone for Valentine's Day. I have never said that before. Number one, I don't ask Joshua to buy me things.
No.
If I want something, I usually go get it for myself if we have the money.
Yeah.
If he wants something, he'll go get it. Now, we talk to each other about big purchases.
Big purchases.
We've always said this. If it's over $100,
Yeah.
over $100 to $200, like, let me know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But besides that, like, you don't need to tell me you're going out to lunch today.
No.
I don't care.
No.
And I'm not going to tell you when I am. So anyway, I said this, like, I should have asked your dad for a new phone for Valentine's Day. Ha ha ha. And I get to dinner. And he hands us all our cards and our gifts, and he got the girls big stuffed animals and candy and some of their favorite things and whatever. And I have a card he hands me, and he's already given me flowers earlier in the day when he came home, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, oh, and I have one more gift for you. I lost it because I saw it was a small apple bag.
It was the small apple bag, you guy.
It was a small apple bag.
She sent me a photo of this and
Yeah.
was like, look what Joshua got. And I didn't even see what it was.
No.
But the small apple bag, I said, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sitting there like hysterical. He got me a new purple.
Y'all,
got
this
me-
is an iPhone 16,
Yes.
you guys. She is all the way upgraded with a purple iPhone 16.
It's so cute.
And y'all, just the photo capability alone. And
Yeah.
please remember, I went from an 11
Yeah.
to this 16. So I had a big jump too back
Mm-hmm.
when we did this. And the photos alone
Yeah.
are worth it.
Well, I took it. So when I was I only took one photo on this phone so far because I haven't finished switching everything over.
That's a big task.
But this is so I'm sitting on my couch and I take a picture of the fireplace accessories.
Okay, let me see.
Okay, so that's all the way zoomed in on my old phone.
Okay, show me the one on the new phone.
And then this is it on the new phone.
wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Sitting in the exact same spot. So the clarity on this one and how much more you can zoom. So this is a 5-time zoom. This is a 10-time
I know the amount you can zoom.
Yes.
And the way that it can capture detail up close
I
is
can't wait.
fascinating.
Well, it's going to point out all my blemishes now.
Oh, no, don't put it on your face.
Don't do it on the face. But yeah, just to put these, hold on. Just to put these side by side, it's like
You guys
you
can
can
see.
see how far away this one is, how close. And then you
This
can't
is
tell,
so
but
clear.
this is like just blurry, and then this one you can see the soot. I mean,
Yes.
it's really amazing. So I'm excited. That was so freaking nice. I was hysterical because I've always said, like,
what a great surprise.
it was such a great surprise. But what it was more than that, it was he listened. He listened when I said that one thing. Now, of course, I've complained about this phone for a long time. I've been like, the GPS doesn't work. I can only listen. Like, he'll say, hey, I'm going to tell you something. I'm like, well, you can't because it's always on speaker because this doesn't work.
Yeah,
and so if the girls can't hear it or whatever, like, I'm like, well, let me call you back when I go find a private place. Like, that's annoying. But so we've known about that for a year and a half.
Okay.
Never bought the phone.
Yeah.
But rigorous activities in the middle of the day.
He had post-nut clarity.
I guess so.
The post-nut clarity was strong. And he heard you say that one little thing. Sorry about the crackles between the music. And he just thought, I know, and I'm going to go get her.
He put it in his mind.
And it's so nice when people listen. And it could be something big or small.
Big or small. It
could be the smallest little, seeming like most dumbest little thing, but it's impactful and it's kind.
It's the same thing as I put it up there with, if everyone in my life knows my Chick-fil-A tea order. Unsweet with a splash of sweet.
Yes.
And I've said to anyone ever in the world, anytime you go to Chick-fil-A, if you think you might see me and you just want to get me one, even if I can't have it right then, if it's too late in the day
you'll save it.
And I don't want the caffeine, I'll just put it in the fridge and I will be so excited when I wake up in the morning to have my unsweet tea with a splash of sweet.
Is there anything better
No.
than waking up and you open the fridge and you either put in that tea? I sometimes do that with an iced coffee if it's too late in the day and I left that iced coffee in my fridge.
And you can have it again.
Or I'll tell you what I like.
What?
If I have had a steak after rigorous activity and I didn't eat that whole steak and that's sitting in the fridge, I'm going to fry up an egg.
Yeah, you are.
And we're going to have steak and eggs.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, y'all know that sounds good. That yolk just dribbling.
So freaking good right now. Am I so hungry? I had little egg bites on the way over. But if he just shows up at the end of the day, he's come home from work and he's like, here, I got you a tea. That's it. Fine. Take me.
Take me.
Take me. I don't care.
Even in the moonlight.
Even in the moonlight. You know what? Turn the lights on. Get crazy. But really.
Charade.
Yeah. But it's just to be thought of. It's like that tea is $2.
Yes.
This was more than that.
Yes, it was.
Both mean a lot.
Both mean a lot.
Both mean a lot.
That's how I feel about my hat. My Kimosabi hat.
That was a nice purchase.
It was very
That's
nice.
a very, I know what they cost. That's a very nice purchase.
It was a very, very nice purchase.
But him giving you his other half of the steak would be the same love. It's the same love.
If Matt does come home and he has swung into Starbucks and just like got me something random.
That's it. It's it.
Oh my gosh.
Just to not have to ask.
Yes.
It's just to not have to ask.
Or if he goes and gets like a chicken biscuit from Biscuitville, because that's right there next to the kids' school, he'll eat that on the way home, but he will save
just a bite.
Just that bite or two. Because he knows I'm not going to eat a whole thing. But he'll leave me those two juicy bites. That's love.
That's love. To save your last delicious bites of something when you could easily want it and eat it, and you wouldn't know.
And dare I say, I think the last two bites are usually the best.
Absolutely, because you've curated it down.
You've curated the perfect bite.
You've said curated a lot.
Yeah, curate.
Like we're like art,
we're
art dealers.
All right, neither one of us has done either of our 2 and 2.
Okay. Well, this could be one of mine. So I do want y'all to know that one of mine is I finally do have a new phone. I have not been able to transfer everything over because there's a lot of storage on this one. However, because something wasn't backed up on my old, it struggled. So I had to go to the Apple store. So he helped me there. Now I have to manually add all of my apps back in. And I have to go to the AT&T store and have my phone number added to this phone. So it's a process. It is going to be a process. And the problem is there are so many things on this phone that are like in the middle of a reel being, finished.
Yes.
Like, that stuff doesn't come with you.
No, it does not.
It lives on this phone. So I now have to finish all of that, download it, transfer it, those sorts of things. And so I have a little bit of time before this will fully be integrated. And then I leave tomorrow morning for Disney.
Oh.
So I don't know if I'm going to have time to finish this and take this brand new better phone, but I really want to because of the quality.
I think that you have to bring both.
Okay. I knew you were going to say that. I knew she was going to say that.
I think that you do. Are you going to have your fanny pack?
Of course I'm going to have a fanny.
Then it's fine. It's
I
just
know.
a little bit extra weight, but you are going to want the photos off of this phone. I am telling you.
I know. So
But you know what? I was having the same problem.
What?
Remember, I got my phone right before we left for the cruise.
Yes, I remember.
And I did have to choose, and I still stuck with my 11. But in
Okay.
hindsight, now that I know the quality of that 16.
I know. Okay, so what I'm going to do is after this, I'm going to really focus and bear down on getting everything switched over to this phone. That's the other hard
When
part.
I hear bear down, I think of giving birth.
Obviously, giving
Yeah.
birth.
Yeah. When they say bear down and push.
So what did I mean? I'm going to. Well, see, I was.
Well,
hunker
no,
down, hunker.
Hunker down.
I was
but
gonna
I love
hunker
bear
down.
down too. You can say bear
Kind
down.
of works.
Yeah.
Like this is going to be a process, and it is going to be exactly like giving birth.
Yes.
And I can't overstate that. That's like when people that just the most asinine analogies. I'm like, no, absolutely not. No, not the same.
No,
Don't
not the
equate those.
same.
Not the same. So this is my number one. My number two will be coming, and this kind of gives my number two.
I'm wondering what you. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to lead you into your number 2.
Okay.
Okay.
So what's your number one?
Okay. Well, I'm just going to lead you into your 2. Okay.
Mm.
There is a song by, you guessed it, Charlie XCX. Not Carly Rae Jepsen. Charlie XCX, which,
But you can't spell Charlie. You can't spell Carly without.
yeah.
You can't spell
Carly without Charlie. And Carly,
No, you can't spell Charlie without Carly.
she does have a song with Charlie, by the way.
That's right.
On the Pop 2 album, she has
That's
a song
right.
with her.
That's
so
right. That's
you know
right.
what? All roads do lead back to the magic of Carly Rae Jepsen.
Exactly. And I believe she went on when Charlie was touring. I think she had Carly Rae come.
I think she might have. Because she had Addison Rae.
She had Addison Rae. You're right. Maybe she did not have Carly Rae. She did have Addison Rae because obviously.
So she's had
Diet Pepsi.
Addison Rae on her Von Dutch remix, and she's had Carly Rae. She needs to now have Lauren Rae.
Obviously, Lauren Rae, her sister.
my sister.
Sister Lauren. And she had Billy, of course.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
No. Would make more sense after that lineup.
What if we had a Charlie XCX song featuring Billy Ray Cyrus?
You know what it's giving? The flow chart, girl. Let's flow. Let's flow. I love her.
Wait.
She just did a White Lotus Let's Flow.
Oh.
She did a White Lotus
Okay.
Let's Flow. Look it up.
I will be looking that up.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a song by Charlie called Everything is Romantic.
Ah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's a song called Everything is Romantic. And I love this song. And I love the remix of the song with Caroline Polachek. Iconic behavior. Okay. But the premise of the song is Charlie is talking about, can basic things in our life be made romantic? I'm looking around me. I'm on vacation, or I'm just walking down the street and I'm looking at things. Can they be romantic? I'm going to give y'all some examples from the songs
Yep.
to give y'all an idea. Bad tattoos on leather tanned skin.
Mm-hmm.
Winding roads on doing manual drive.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Early nights in white sheets with lace curtains.
Very romantic.
Capri in the distance. Okay. Let's keep going. We have lemons on the trees and on the ground.
Yes.
Sandals on the stirrups of the scooters.
Mm.
Neon orange drinks on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now we go into Caroline's verse. Late nights in black silk in East London. Church bells in the distance.
Heck yeah.
Free bleeding in the autumn rain.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, we're free bleeding.
Okay, I've heard of the free bleeders movement.
Okay.
Yep.
She's talking about lottery tickets in floating in the canal. She's talking about girls throwing up in the back of the line to get into the club. So we're
Go
going,
all good night start.
we're saying all of these things. We could still romance all of these things.
Sure.
So I would like to add anglerfish rising to the surface of the ocean.
Yes. Oh God. Here we go. The freaking anglerfish. And I know people want this to be such a sweet
Another one.
story. They want it to be so sweet, and they do. They want to romanticize it. And I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum, as per usual. I would never do that, except for the fact that
Except here I go again. Ready to yuck y'all's yuck.
Okay. By the way, I did record some stories at the end of the Super Bowl about hating on the T Swift and Taylor's boyfriend and Travis and everything. I did delete them early the next morning after I woke up. I hadn't heard any hate yet, but I knew it was coming. And I'm not trying to piss off the Swifties. You know, that's just not. I don't have that kind of bandwidth. I got to switch over this phone.
Yeah, no, we do not have time for Swifties. I think more than any other fan base.
I would rather take the mad liberals at your inauguration.
The mad liberals, the Tennessee fans, the Bay Hive. I'll take all three of those.
Over the Swifties.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're going to leave y'all alone.
Yeah. So I deleted those very quickly before anybody could wake up and find them. I literally...
You're like, not worth it.
I went to bed at like 3 a.m. I woke up at like 7, not, what? Let me go on there. Delete.
Yep.
They no longer exist.
Okay.
Okay, because I really do try not to yuck people's yum. I know everybody has something different in their life, and that you're very interested in that, and I get that. I really do. But when this anglerfish came around,
okay, let's tell people what happened with this anglerfish.
Okay, so y'all, there's an anglerfish, and y'all know this fish because it was on what, Nemo,
Finding Nemo,
and it's the one that has the light.
It has one light. It lives in the deep, deep, dark ocean, and it only has the one light on its end, and that's how it brings the prey in, because the prey sees the light, and it comes close, and it chomps it with its teeth.
It's got those huge, kind of like a piranha mouth, right? And chomps it down. And so
it's an ugly fish.
It's very ugly.
I'm sorry. It is.
It is. It's ugly. I think that we could say the majority of people are going to say that's not a cute fish. There are, of course, cute fishes. We have clownfish.
Absolutely. I mean, I think most of the monsters of the deep are ugly.
They have to be.
They are down there surviving under so many tons of pressure.
Yeah.
That, of course, their bodies and their faces and their teeth are gnarly.
And they're designed that way,
yeah,
right?
They're supposed to be.
Yeah. They have to fend off any predators. And so it gave us a thumbs up on that. I guess I'm correct about that. Okay. So the anglerfish lives deep in the ocean, and no one ever really sees them because we can't dive there.
Yeah.
So like a camera might catch it or something like that. But like a person seeing an anglerfish, pretty unheard of.
Yes.
So when this anglerfish, somehow people were in the right place at the right time, filming the right part of the sea, where an anglerfish is swimming,
rising
quote,
to
unquote,
rising to the top, and there happened to be a camera crew that was filming some aquatic things.
Yes.
And they look over, and here's this little anglerfish
with its light
coming towards the surface, to look at the sun.
Yep. This anglerfish, which has never seen the sun and doesn't know it exists, it has never even been up close enough to know that there's something above.
Yeah.
Somehow knew in its conscious that there's a big old world 6,000 feet above or whatever it is, and that there's a sun, and that there are people, and that it wants to feel the sun on its body before it dies. Somehow, the intuition was there. I can't. And so the way that this story went viral is it's just a perfect. This should be studied. Stories like this should be studied because they catch it on film, and at first it just starts with like, oh my gosh, we've seen anglerfish this high up, and now on the surface. That's crazy. So someone puts the footage with a super sappy, sweet song.
With the song. It was the song and a little bit of text.
A little bit of text that said, in its final moments.
Yeah. She because they figured out it was a female.
Yeah. She wanted to just feel what the sun was like on her body. Mm-hmm. To have this one moment before she died, she wanted to see, what was it all about? What's up there?
Everything is romantic, you guys.
Everything is romantic. And so people are posting it over and over again. And
people are sobbing.
Hysterical.
They are sobbing over this fish.
Hysterical over this fish. But I first saw it posted, much like when the kayaker was swallowed by the whale.
Yes.
I thought that this anglerfish was a promotion for Nemo 3. I thought it was a Disney ad.
Oh, no way.
100%. I saw it very quickly. And because of the text being like, and then she wanted to get one final moment. And I was like, oh my gosh, is this like Nemo 3? I didn't know that they were making
It's like a Pixar little teaser.
I thought it was a Pixar teaser for like the next part of the story. And so I just ignored it. I didn't watch it. I didn't look at it. And then I saw people reposting it. I didn't think I'd be crying. You know, the new phrase, crying over an anglerfish wasn't on my 2025 bingo
Yeah,
card.
crying in the club right now, thinking about the fish.
Thinking about the anglerfish. Didn't know I had such an affinity for anglerfish. And I'm like, what? Oh, so this wasn't a Disney film.
This was real, and we all have romanticized it enough to make it pull at our heartstrings.
Yes. And so it's being shared and shared and shared. And so, of course, the first thing I do when anything seems too cutesy, I go to the comments. And I'm like,
oh, we got to see the comments.
What are people saying? And that's when I came across this one. Hi, marine biologist here.
Oh my gosh, marine biologist. The career we thought we would all be.
Exactly.
Here, this is her moment.
This is her.
Happy for her.
This is her story.
What's her name? That's her story?
Yeah, it's Lily. Lily Knudsen. Lily Knudsen.
Hey, Lily.
I see you, Lily. Okay. But we have talked about marine biologists on this podcast.
Yes,
and
we have.
I was finally like, wait, someone did actually collect the Laura Frank dolphin stickers.
Yes.
No.
Lisa Frank.
Dolphin stickers, said she was going to be a marine biologist. And then she went and did it.
And then she did it. And she is so knowledgeable that she has the facts.
She has the facts. And it's marine biologist here. This fish didn't make any kind of conscious choice to ascend from the depths. It was dying and lost control of its buoyancy. There's nothing romantic or peaceful about it. It's just biology. There's a reason we never see these animals, because they belong far beyond where we can venture, and the fact that we got to see this fish is not a good thing. I love seeing so much engagement for marine animals, but please do research instead of spreading misinformation.
Okay.
And so Lily, I think, did take take it a little too far there. Okay. I understand, like, when she's like, maybe she didn't. She's just stating the facts.
She's stating the facts.
I can see where people were like, just let us have our nice thing.
That's what it is. People are kind of like, just let us have this. But I think there's a couple different ways of thought that this can be.
Yeah.
One is the very scientific way of thinking, which is Lily here, who is also highlighting, hey, this maybe isn't a good sign. This could indicate that something bad is happening under the oceans, and we should probably investigate that.
Correct.
True. I think there's those of us somewhere in the middle who are just like, well, that's pretty cool. Wow, that fish is smaller than I thought. You know, we're just kind of taking in the information, and we're like, what a cool experience for those divers, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we have the very in the feelings, looking for meaning and purpose in life in general. And so because you're not finding that in your day-to-day, or you're not finding it in your higher creator, or because you're not finding...
Oh, she gonna preach.
You're not finding truth in your life, and you're clawing and scratching to find it, to fill that void.
Yeah.
You are romanticizing these things and saying, this dying fish that's full of gas, and that's why it's rising to the top, is somehow a metaphor for my life as a woman.
Yeah.
That I'm going to break free from these chains and like see the sun, you know, before. Well,
should I leave my marriage because this anglerfish finally got from the depths of the ocean? Is this a sign? Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is why it should be studied.
Yeah.
Because we have people who are clinging to this fish as though it is some sort of truth, that it's also revealed a truth about your life in some way. And that's why I'm like, this is actually a cautionary tale.
It is a cautionary tale.
This is why it's a cautionary tale. That one, just because it's on the internet doesn't make it true.
Oh, yeah.
Please stop believing everything that you see. Y'all, come on.
It's gotta
the amount of people that I saw share going back to the Super Bowl and the Kelsey of it all. So there was this thing that went around that was like, Tom Brady said, you know, if Travis spent more time looking at his plays than hanging out with Taylor, maybe they would have won. And then Jason Kelsey said to Tom, well, maybe if you spent more time on your marriage, your wife wouldn't have left you. Neither one of those men said those
None
things.
of that happened.
None of that happened.
I mean, it sounds juicy, but none of it.
The way y'all shared that, the way it got around, I just need people, when something seems a little too juicy, a little too cute, a little too romantic, a little too perfect, go into the comments. I'm promising you, within the top 5 is going to be someone saying, this is fake.
Yeah.
This is not true. There's no proof of this ever being said, happening, or otherwise.
Yeah.
Because the onus is on us before we share or repeat something.
Mm-hmm.
The onus, and we learned this when we were children. You don't repeat the gossip until, don't repeat gossip, but also if you hear something, go to the source. Say,
Yes.
did you really say that before you get upset, right? Yeah. And we're doing this on social media every single day.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's fake. That's fake. That's fake. That's AI. I didn't even want to share about the kayaker that got swallowed by the whale because I was like, certainly that's AI.
Yeah.
There's no way that's real.
It easily could be. I mean, the things AI is doing now, you guys.
It's so hard to tell. I mean,
we don't know.
They did AI cruise ships falling over and people jumping off the side of it, and people are like, this is why I'll never go on a cruise. I'm like, that's not real. Like that's not how that happened. That's not actually happening at all. But it certainly didn't look like that. Or the crowds in places. I'm seeing them put AI crowds in places, pretending that they were bigger, that there was chaos or whatever, and then there was nothing. You have to be so skeptical now. You have to. The onus is on us to dig and research and think about things critically before we share them. And it's happening constantly with the politics of it all and everything. And to me, it makes people look dumb. And I don't mean that to be harsh.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is you're going to have to come back in a day or two and go, oh, that wasn't proven true. Instead of looking like that and looking dumb.
Yeah.
Just do a little bit more research, go into the comments, go into Google, see if it says #AI on it. Like it usually will say that. And then don't share it because it just makes us look like fools. Sorry, I should have said makes us look like fools instead of dumb. But it does. It does.
Your take is like it's making people look dumb and foolish. My take is it's making people look sad, empty and desperate.
Yeah.
It for me, it's more, this is a crisis of the culture.
Yeah.
And this is highlighting that we are grasping at a dead fish
to feel something
and to give us a sense of direction or purpose when there obviously you feel purposeless in your life if this fish is making you sob on your couch.
Yeah, it's one thing. It would even that. I cry about everything, y'all.
Let me say about
everything, but
y'all know I'm an animal person.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have seen videos and heard stories and all the things of animals doing very interesting, majestic, sometimes seeming heartfelt things. I have seen animals do these sorts of things, right? But to your point, you do have to put the monocle on and say, well, did this fish purposefully swim to the surface? Is this the information
they didn't know existed?
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
Fish lived in the depth.
Fish do not have the capability of reason. No. That is what we need people to understand. Is they would swim in circles for their entire life.
Yeah.
And just be happy doing that because there is no sense of logic or reason really in any animal.
Right.
I'd say especially a fish, and I'm going to say a chicken as well. Which is why I feel
Davis is going to come for you.
Listen.
She thinks her chickens are very
well. Her chickens are amazing.
They are.
And they are silkies. But I guess when I'm thinking of God's creatures that he's eat these.
Yeah.
I really feel that chicken and fish are kind of just their brains are scrambled anyway.
Yeah, well, they're there to provide.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the circle of life, another Disney movie.
I can understand. Lion King, exactly. I can understand how someone might see a cow and be like, this seems more present.
Or a chimpanzee.
Yeah.
When they can sign and they can communicate.
But chickens and fish, there's certain animals where I'm like, you want to be dead anyway. Look how miserable you are. Let me put you out of your misery and I'll eat you.
That's why my marine biologist no, the thing's dying.
It's dying. It's full of gas.
It's full of gas and it's buoyant. And so it's rising to the top and it might die before it even hits it. So it's never going to feel the sun or see the sun. But yeah, I do think that it's just a cautionary tale. A cautionary tale in several ways. Is one, what are we really seeing? What are we really seeing? What does this really mean?
Yes.
And two, if something like that can pull at you so much that you're emotional about it and then introspective about your own life, what am I not climbing to the surface to feel or find? Then I think that you might want to dig into that a little bit.
So I got voice notes from Gigi about this fish.
Oh, okay. Of course you did.
Of course I did. And she had so many good points. And
is she with me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, she's very much just whoa. She made the point that she said in the Victorian era, you never ever talked about sex. That was like so taboo, but they talked a lot about death.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that death, they were always ruminating on that and thinking about it and praying about it and unafraid to like have that conversation, normalizing it. Obviously, we are all going to die.
Yeah.
Now we live in an age where those two things are opposite.
Yeah.
Now all we can talk about is sex and pleasure and who you're with and what you're like and what are your pronouns and what is this and what everything. We're so sex obsessed.
Yes.
We avoid thinking about dying.
Yep.
We are scared of death. We are scared to think about the afterlife. We just don't even want to put that in our brains at all. And so she's making the point that like this fish is making people confront like their own end. And because we as a culture, as a society, don't ever want to think about that, it has women sobbing. It has women on their knees being like, what will the end be like for me?
Which is exactly why I think I feel nothing, because I'm not scared of death and I never think about it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, when it happens, it happens.
Yeah. It's going to come.
It's going to come and that's it. Like, I don't know. I just don't think about it in a paralyzing way or in a nervous way. I mean, even my grandma, who's almost 98, thinks about and is scared of death. And I'm like, have you always been this way, or is it just because it feels so imminent?
Yeah.
But no, she's always been this way. So it's not just because she knows it's getting closer and closer, but like for me, it just, maybe that's why this has, I literally saw it and thought it was a Nemo commercial. What am I talking about? But then I went into it, was like, whoa, why is everybody so emotional about this fish?
So, I mean, this is going to be the year of the fish. Like, give this fish the Grammy for Album of the Year next year. Please.
It's going to be called Angler. Charlie XCX, Angler. Which does go back to our angles are everything.
Angles are everything.
But yeah, this fish, wow, it's taking the internet.
It took the internet by storm. I did save a ton of them on our page so that we can continue to share them because I am curious what the podcast's take on it. I hope that, I think you may be right that it is more of some of the millennial women that are taking this fish the hardest. And it's because we are just so hyper aware and hypersensitive of like our existence right now. And it is the hormones and it is, I don't know, like I'm not seeing a lot of Gen Z girls crying about the fish.
You don't care.
Right? Is Lily crying about the fish?
No, Lily's not crying about the angler fish. I don't even know if Lily knows about the anglerfish.
Okay, I want to share this little bit that Gigi had said. You know, she's talking about, now we talk about sex nonstop as a society. And she said, I can speak maybe coincidentally that now we do have higher rates of anxiety, higher rates of depression, people not knowing the purpose of life, people not understanding who they were meant to be and what they were created for or what they should be doing. And I think that we have gone to this place in a culture where we are in deep theological despair because when you understand those things and when your life is rightly ordered, you will look at the fish and it won't give you a thought of, oh my gosh, death, and I need to grapple with that in my own existence. And I think that's because thinking about death necessarily means you have to think about life, and you more specifically have to think about how you're living your life. It's much easier to ignore that by ignoring death. So I'm not going to think about what happens after I die. But then seeing this fish is like forcing people to think about their own morality.
Yeah. I mean, but
I'm sitting here going, but the multiple like plane crashes and things that have been going on around us, that didn't make anybody pause or I don't know, even cry on their stories or on their reels. Yeah. But the fish filled with gas floating to the top did make people cry. Are we so disconnected?
Yes. 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 And yes. And yes again. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I think I don't think about death a lot because I am just in life.
Yes.
I'm just in life.
Yes. And
I'm focused on the day-to-day in life.
Yeah.
I'm trying to live each day to the fullest. And
you and I have said we are on borrowed time.
Yeah.
We feel grateful that we made it this far.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm going to turn 44 this year. Who knew?
Who knew?
Who knew that would happen? Certainly not me.
I can't believe you're going to be 40.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
You and Matt.
I know, right? Boom, boom. I'm just a little bit older.
44.
I know. We're getting up there. We're almost to our mid-40s.
Ugh. What is happening?
That's okay. We look great.
Y'all do look great. Okay, let me see if I can.
Yeah, what's your, how can you segue into number 2? Huh?
Speaking of facts of life, pickles have 0 calories.
Okay. They do?
0? Yes.
Oh, I thought that they had like at least 5 or something.
No. Like, what is going on with that? Okay, I'm gonna just verify, but I had a jar of pickles and the pickles did say 0.
Okay.
Let me check it. Okay, this one is saying a little pickle has 7. My jar said 0.
Okay.
Okay. I feel that
I fear
that a pickle is very filling.
Yes, I agree. I think that they are so filling because they're so tasty, and then you get all of the, I don't know.
The brine?
Yeah, the brine and everything. Sorry, Bella just texted me. She has the flu. Okay. That feels good though.
Can I give her the stuff?
That's what she's updating me about that right now. Sorry, I dipped out right in the middle of Pico convo to be told by my daughter she has the flu. She is very, very sick, not feeling good at all, and called me early this morning, threw up twice while we were on the phone together.
Yeah.
Like so bad. But hopefully they can give her, it's only been 2 days of symptoms.
Okay.
So hopefully they can give her something.
It's good to have a diagnosis.
Yes, that's what I
think
was
it would be
saying,
worse for them to be like, no, you're fine. Like, no.
I was kind of almost praying that she had at least a diagnosis of something so that now we can tackle it. The idea of like, yeah, you just don't feel good. We don't know if it's X, Y, or Z. Like, oh, just tell me. I would much rather have strep throat than a sore throat.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, tell her to not eat pickles because that's not going to...
No, that's going to burn.
That's going to burn. And it's also obviously not going to be enough calories. So I'm just trying to understand like...
So you looked at the jar and that's where you saw it? It said 0?
It said a 0 on my jar. I'm going to figure out what jar of pickles this was. But I just don't... I mean, even 7. Okay, let's say even 7. Oh, here it is on Reddit. How are pickles 0 calories?
Because are cucumbers also 0 calories?
Oh, here we go. Reddit, of course, to the rescue.
Yeah.
This person says, in the U.S., the law says that if a thing has fewer than 5 calories per serving, the company is allowed to round that down to 0.
Okay.
Smaller pickles have less than 5 calories, and so the companies choose to round it down. Flavored water is the same way. Clear American has about 10 calories to the bottle, but 3 servings. If you divide 10 by 3,
right, it's all about the servings.
Yep. Therefore, they can put it as 0. I did not know this. Did you know this?
I didn't know that you could round down if it was less than 5. I thought that you had to. That's why I was like, I thought pickles were 5 calories because I assumed that they were at least 5.
I'm shook.
But if you can round down. Now, I know some people who count their calories so strictly.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if these are people who like literally house pickles because it says 0.
That's what I'm wondering.
Because I'm eating a whole jar and you're like, actually, maybe I've had like 30.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that it should make a difference. 30 calories, whatever.
But that's what I'm saying. If you could eat an entire jar of pickles, which that would be hard to do because I would think you would be very full off of that. And then you've only consumed 20 to 30 calories from the whole jar. I don't know. Like
I think I know what my new favorite snack needs to be.
There's a science to this where I'm just going, is this like an untapped thing?
Yeah.
Or maybe...
Well, you know, people say that celery has actually negative calories.
Yes.
Because it's so low in calories, but then the act of having to chew so rigorously.
Yes.
That you burn more than you even consume.
Yes.
So maybe pickles are also similar in that way.
I bet it is.
They are crunchy and you're I want a crunchy pickle. I want a crunchier the better. Grillos.
Who's the girl that does Faster Way?
Kristen Mills.
Kristen Mills. She had posted, this was like 2 years ago, but one of her snacky snacks, she likes to do the little dill wrapped in a very thin ham.
Yes, very thin ham. I would upgrade that to a prosciutto.
Ooh.
Because
that is a good
love
snack.
That.
I started doing that after she posted it. Now, again, like I wasn't thinking about the calories of it, but I'm like, if this pickle's 0, and then I get to actually have a little bit of protein and maybe an Italian meat that I want to have.
It can be a vehicle.
It's a vehicle.
Or the pickle can be the vehicle for other things, and you actually feel like you're eating something, not just a slab of meat.
That's it.
I like that. This is what I'm seeing. A medium-sized cucumber is about 16 calories. So that makes sense.
Okay.
So if we're chopping up that cucumber, brining it, making pickles, I can see how one spear or whatever could be, like if we're talking about spears of pickles, obviously, I can see how they're less than 5 calories.
Wow.
I don't prefer a whole pickle, just but I love like a spear of a pickle.
But do you like a little mini gherkin?
As long as it's dill.
Yeah, it's
but
gotta be
you
dill.
and me. Let me tell you what. You know what? There's a very funny thing that went around that said my trust issues started when people gave me oatmeal raisin cookies instead of oatmeal chocolate chip. And I firmly believe that also trust issues started when someone handed me a little gherkin.
Yes.
And I thought it was a mini dill and it was a bread and butter sweet.
Bread and butter sweet.
Absolutely electric chair.
Electric chair.
And the fact that people like them, again, not trying to yuck your yum.
But you are yucking it.
Don't just what I'm saying. Do not hand me one. Do not hand me
No,
one.
it
Don't
does
think
not-
it's funny. Don't think it's funny to be like, we're gonna trick her. I will punch you in your face.
Yes, I don't.
I will.
Okay, it doesn't taste good. What is that made with? Sugar?
Yes. Instead of doing a vinegar brine, they're doing a sugary brine.
Okay, let's see. Bread and butter.
And the seeds that are floating in it.
Yeah,
in
what
that
is that?
brine, my guess is like a mustard seed or coriander, something.
Okay,
like that.
bread and butter pickles typically contain cucumbers, onions, vinegar, sugar, and spices. So it's just the sugar.
The spices are, I think.
Oh yeah, mustard seed, celery seed, turmeric, cloves, red pepper. So these are options.
There it is. The mustard seeds was usually.
So it's really just sugar. They're dripping in there.
I don't need that.
Who started doing that?
I don't know. Well, sugar's a great preserver, but so is salt.
So is salt.
But my guess is someone I bet. Okay.
Oh, this is good.
I bet this was, a woman in her kitchen back in the day on the farmhouse, right?
Long ago.
And she thought she was putting the salt in there, but she grabbed the sugar jar instead.
Yes.
And then it came out and she was like,
Huh.
I like that.
Yeah.
And then
She fed it to her family,
There it is.
and they said, "We're happy not to starve." Sure,
Yes.
Mom, these are great.
yes, you're also not going to tell a mom then that
No.
you didn't like the food. Absolutely not.
No, you're gonna just eat the
You're just
sweet
going to
pickle.
eat the sweet pickle and you're going to say, yum. And then you're going to have an existential crisis and wonder, what is life about? And then death doesn't seem so bad because your mom's going to now make you eat sweet pickles every day instead of dill. No, thank you. I'll hop on that anglerfish. I'll ride it all the way up. Take me out. Take me out. Let it be my last day.
I think you would have told your mom on the farm. You would have been very honest. You would have said, "Mom,
No.
Mama,
Mama,
Mama, these sweet pickles aren't good."
they're not good, and we aren't doing it again. I think you mixed up the sugar with the salt. It happens. It happens.
Mama, go feed those to the hog.
Please, not to me though. Not to me. I would have said, life is not worth living. But I don't know. That's just my guess. Someone mixed them up. And
I
that's
think
how
you're
those
so
happened in the
right.
bakery several times because we would have huge containers, like huge containers of salt, of sugar, of flour, of baking batter, of, all the things that you use. And so there would be times when I'd be like going to fill up with the next big bag and be like, oop, one more over. It goes in this. And, you'll have to do the taste test, even, every once in a while, just like
Salt and
Okay,
sugar
yeah.
look exactly the same.
they look exactly the same. So you do have to be careful. I mean, maybe that's what happened. They're both preservers, or maybe there was a shortage at one point in one. So then they're like, hey, we need a preserver. So sugar acts the same as salt, just does it differently.
Interesting. Okay.
It's all about preservation. And
I
back in the day when we didn't have refrigeration and we didn't have cool, ways to keep food
Yes.
cold, you have to preserve it with a dried good. That dried good
Actually-
is either going to be sugar or salt.
This takes me into my number 2. So let me
Okay.
just jump into it.
Okay.
I've been fed a lot of things on the gram, and I've been thinking about how as a society we've just made up stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like one thing I read said
Today years old.
the idea of debt is that you were born and now companies get to say, because you want to live in a house or you want to have a transportation to your job or you want to, I don't know, just live in the society you were born into, you are now in debt.
Yes.
And it's kind of just, as we've talked about with money here, which y'all know we don't understand,
Not
it's
at
just
all.
a fictional made up thing. It's people pushing buttons on a computer and someone can now say, you're $100,000 in debt and you owe it to me. So I've been talking about this with Matt. He, of course, is just staring at me blankly, like just letting me talk. It's fine. That's what this
Blinking.
podcast is for.
Big blinks.
Yeah. But this concept of being born, especially in this time, and that you are then forced to adjust to how things are done. If that means going to school, Then you go off to college. You need to get a job. You need to have a way of transportation. You need to live in a living environment that is clean and safe, right? All of these things.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking a lot about hibernation.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel and I fear
So
that.
Tell me more about how you're going to hibernate.
I think that from long ago, people living on the farms with their sweet pickles.
Yeah.
and using the salt and sugar to preserve. Okay.
Yeah.
The reason they needed to preserve was because they worked really hard spring, summer, and fall.
That's right.
And they got all their crops.
Yep.
And they were drying their meats and they were getting everything ready because winter was coming.
It always was.
And they had to have in the basement the food stores and everything so that they could survive the winter and then come out in the spring when the weather is nice again and grow food and the cattle and all the things. That was our form of hibernation.
It was.
Right?
Yeah.
That was people hibernating. And I think our brains are, think about how many thousands of years things were like that.
Yes.
Only more recently, let's say in the last 200, 300 plus years, are we living in more of an age where it's like you need to grind all the time.
All the time.
It is nonstop hustle. Do not stop grinding. Winter, spring, summer, fall.
Yep.
And so those of us that are struggling, this is my shout out to those of you struggling
in seasonal affective
with
disorder.
the seasonal affective, where maybe you're just in a season where you're like, I cannot get motivated. I don't want to do anything. I feel more tired. I feel more groggy. And that definitely has been me. Obviously, I've been healing. So I think that's part of it. That's made me kind of think about this. But it's like,
winters might just be generally hard for you.
Yeah, I think, and they are. They definitely are. Yeah. But I'm like, is it kind of in our DNA?
Yes.
To look around at the cloudy skies, at maybe the snow coming down, the cold weather, and just our instinct is to want to shut down a little bit.
Yes, because we, unlike the anglerfish, we do have that instinct.
Yes.
We really do.
We really do.
It is in our DNA.
It is.
Yeah, to have a conscious.
To just say, I'm going to hole up. I'm maybe not going to see a lot of people. I'm going to just like lay low.
I think if more people would do that, I think that they would be happier in general. To say, you know what, obviously, we were also supposed to rest on Sundays.
Yes.
We were supposed to have a built-in day of rest.
Yeah.
We stopped doing that. We took away that day of rest.
Yep.
And then, because now it's the kids' travel, sports and everything, everything's become so much more. And the reason why it's become so much more is because money.
Yep.
And so, then you now need to travel out of town every weekend to go to the volleyball tournaments and you have to spend the money to do that. And so, nope, you don't go to church anymore. You don't rest on Sundays. You don't do any of that. You don't have Sunday family dinners.
Yep.
You don't have this built-in day. So that's gone. So then it was easier to give up maybe where you hibernated. Like all of that was a slow trickle.
Think about it. Even weekends in general, they're saying, okay, we'll give you these 2 days a week where you can like rest and catch up.
Some of the busiest days of the week.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're more frazzled on the weekends now.
Yeah.
I'm like, as a society, we have just made up rules.
Yeah.
And some people might clap back at this and be like, yeah, that's because of capitalism. That's because of the billionaires. That's because of this or that. And I'm not disagreeing with you. It could be. But it's like, we are never given the chance to just come to a screeching halt. And if we do, we feel guilty about it.
Yep.
We feel ashamed. We feel lazy. And I love these accounts that come by sometimes and it's like, hey, you don't need to apologize for needing rest.
No. What's the thing I shared the other day? The whole if I see my friend, if I've texted my friend and I see them minutes later on social media, posting stuff or in DMs looking active or whatever. By the way, I always look like, I guess because I'm always logged into Instagram.
Oh, yeah, I always look active.
It always looks active. It does not mean that I'm even in the app at that moment. So don't take that as Bible for anybody actually being on there.
No.
But it said, what do I think of the friend who hasn't written me back, but I can see is posting on social media? And what it said is, that person might be disconnecting.
Yes.
This might be their first time that day to do something just totally guilty pleasure-ish, which is just to scroll through.
Yeah.
And that you are not entitled to someone's downtime.
I loved that
You are
so
not
much.
entitled to someone's downtime.
So seeing someone on Instagram, you can see that they're live or maybe they posted something.
Yeah.
That's their downtime.
That's their downtime.
So don't be mad that they haven't taken the time to go through their 3,700 texts to write everybody back.
Yeah, let's see how many texts I have. So right now I'm unread 281.
Okay, let me see what I'm at. I'm at 197.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, you guy. I just feel like, man, we need to allow ourselves, and people say this all the time. It's one of the platitudes. Give yourself grace.
Yep.
Self-care. Like self-care has become a thing. And I think we're scratching at that. We're scratching at the self-care, and we're just starting to uncover, wait a minute. We have all been grinding nonstop for decades, told that we need to just hustle all the time. And we're just now starting to peel back and say, I don't need to ask for permission to rest.
No.
I don't need to feel bad that you know who I loved?
Who?
Uba.
Yeah.
On The Real Housewives of New York at the reunion. They were talking about their experiences as women of color or Black women. And Uba said, I love being a Black woman. I get everything for free.
Yeah.
She was so funny.
She was like, I haven't had the plight that other people talk about. She's like, I get everything. And Andy's like, do you think it's because you're super like a beautiful model?
Yeah.
Do you think it has less to do with you being Black and you being a beautiful model? She's like, probably has something to do with that. But I'm just saying, life is good for me.
She was like,
as
life
a
is
Black woman.
And she said, I sleep in until 11 a.m.
I sleep till 11 a.m. My boyfriend doesn't say anything.
She said, and my man brings me tea in bed. And I, for some reason, that moment stuck with me. Because I was like, yes.
How can we quote that? I can't quote anything else from that, but I distinctly remember that conversation because I was like, good for her.
And do you want to know why? Because we feel guilt when we want to sleep in.
Yeah.
We feel guilt that we feel tired. We feel shame for some of these things. And I am just here to say,
sleepers, that wouldn't be a thing. Like the thing is like people who naturally can sleep and sleep well.
Yeah.
Like
sleep deep
and great. And you wake up and you're resting and everything, like good for you. I wish it were me.
Same.
But when I can sleep, when it actually is working, I need to.
Yeah.
I really need to.
Yep.
And so I'm just not going to feel guilty about that anymore. When I say it, I mean it.
Yep.
And there will be times when I will say to Joshua, I'll text him like, hey, this is a really bad night. I am incapable of sleeping.
Yes.
My the insomnia is really ramped up.
So you're writing him at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, I'm writing him at 3 a.m. Like I just don't feel good in my body right now for it. Like I'm really struggling here. If you don't have a meeting immediately to get to, could you take Lily? And that would enable me to sleep until 8:13 instead of 6:23. Like those 2 extra hours might be able to make a huge difference for me and reset me for the next night.
Absolutely. Those 2 hours are a game changer.
And help, all I'll say is if she needs me to take her to school, have her wake me up.
Okay.
But if you're going to do it, I'm not going to set my alarm.
Yeah, leave me be.
I'm going to set it for later. And so I will wake up at 8:13 and be like, oh, that is like, again, that's love.
It's love.
That's love.
That's the gift.
That's it.
That's the gift. So here's the gift I'm giving you, podcasts, okay? Is permission to just be lazy.
Yes.
And not pile guilt on yourself if you are in a season, especially a season right now, where I think our ancestors were kind of hibernating. I'm just saying. Where maybe you just feel low key. Maybe you don't want to see a lot of people. Maybe you just need to rest. Maybe you're not working out a lot, or maybe you're. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah.
I am releasing you from this.
Yes. Let our brains be what they were. I mean, that's the thing we keep saying. They haven't matured enough. They haven't changed enough. We were just built for berries and twigs, and we're out here trying to like solve world hunger.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the only thing you ever had to worry about was just your family being hungry.
Your own family and maybe your little village.
Now we're supposed to feel guilt about what we're not doing for everyone else, whether that's very locally, community, local, or globally. And you're like, I'm not doing enough. And like going back to last week, like if I don't say this, then will people know how I felt?
Yes.
And then you're performing and then all that, like,
yes.
Oh my gosh.
We are all
actually
actually
nuts.
We are performing.
Yeah.
That is what we are doing in this culture.
That's why it feels so inauthentic. That's why women are grappling with like identity.
Yes.
Because I think it feels so inauthentic to actually, and not saying that people don't care. I'm an empath through and through. I do care about a lot of things, but I also care a lot about me.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing, and then my little family, and then I go just outside of that to my parents and my sister and brother and everybody, and then kind of my extended family. But I have a huge family. I can do enough just with those people alone and feel like my week is fulfilled.
Yeah.
So then I think that's why I don't, constantly need to friends and dinners and hangouts and vacations with and all that sort of stuff, because I guess I've just surrounded myself with like family people who do need things.
Yes.
Who do need things.
Yes, that's true.
And so
you are needed.
And so I
very
think,
much so in your family.
Yeah. So I think it just looks different for each person. Maybe you don't feel super needed by family, and so you do need that friendship connection. And then that feels like, okay, well, I don't even have enough of that. So then now I need to help everybody. And now it's like, how can I solve this world problem and this world? And it's just like, sorry, guys, I just don't have the bandwidth for all that.
Y'all,
and some people don't.
Just cool it. Okay, just pump the brakes.
Yeah.
I'm here to just bless and release all of us from this.
Bless.
And if you're having a day like that, I would love for you to send us a DM and just be like, you know what? This week I am hibernating, and good for you.
Good for you.
Okay, what's your number 2?
I thought I already had 2.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. You did, because I threw the phone in there for you. Oh, it's 109.
Oh my gosh.
It's 109.
Well, that's the perfect time to end. That's Kristen's lucky number.
It is. It is.
So you guys go out there, and by go out there, I mean go back into your cave.
Go out there and go to sleep.
Go back into your cave, be like a bear, go back to bed. Eat a berry or two. Do not eat a sweet pickle.
No.
Do not do that. Eat a dill pickle.
Those bears are not eating sweet pickles.
No. They would.
Oh, in my hibernation research, bears, I was like, are they pooping? Like, what's the deal? They make a butt plug for themselves so that they do not poop. And then their kidneys are recycling any liquid in their body. So they literally don't have to move or get up or do anything. Isn't that crazy? They have a little poo plug.
I think that just skyrocketed butt plug sales in the winter. Am I right? Maybe that's our business.
Hibernation butt plugs brought to you by the ladies of Ats. Get them in your Ats vending machine.
It's Ats for your ass. Something like that. We'll workshop it, We'll workshop it. And next week we'll come to you with something better. Y'all let us know what you think our new butt plug should be called. Thanks. To be continued.